Hey everybody, welcome back after the short break. Thanks so much for staying tuned with us. My name's Evan Rainer. Rain Day. It's Nikki Hi-Rez Pretty Hair. It's game 2. It's the summer premiere qualifiers for Valencia. We're in North America, and it's Cryptic versus Swarm.
I'm expecting more spice now.
More spice?
That was our one matchup that meant something.
A little bit of jalapeno?
Seeding, yeah. No longer left. Cryptic secure their first spot. And they're going to be on Timbermill, which is a good start for the spice of life.
It's going to be a glittery affair, really, a lot of fanfare, to be specific. These teams are coming through. And, you know, it's not just the game that, in terms of seeding, matters. It's pride. It's moving forward. The long-term vision for this unit is, can we actually perform against these guys? Because if we can, I mean, that gives us hope moving into the next kind of qualification stage for the next big event, Hi-Rez Expo coming up in 6 months. And if they can't, maybe it's like, hey, we need to do something with our roster. I need to do this.
Yeah.
A lot of questions kind of get answered here.
Swarm and Dare Rising still fighting potentially for last spot today. So I think Swarm are going to be the ones, if anyone, to try hard today. But more of that, I think, is going to ride on their final matchup of the day. Cryptic, I have faith that they're going to pick something troll.
You have faith that they're going to troll.
I have faith in the troll
North
pick.
America, don't you let us down.
Don't let me down.
You've certainly never done that before. Let's continue the streak.
They have to. I mean,
perfect moves that North America has made.
So it's a reckless first pick. All is in order. Swarm go with the Kinessa, though, right up out the gate. Now we expect to see some fireworks from Cryptic, whether it's Eevee or Andro or Buck.
You mean the Ash weapon coming out in the new chest in OB53?
I think, honestly, I think the Lex pistols are my favorite.
Sure.
Just with the little whistles.
You just said fireworks. I was just, you know, that's what the Ash's cannon is all about. You guys can get that, like we mentioned, OB53 coming out. A lot of weapons. Cool new skins for Lex and Cassie. He's sliding on a surfboard once again. Come on now.
Surfboard.
Surfboard, turning up. And, of course, Eevee is picked up here.
Dang.
Just to ward it off. But super serious draft right now from Team Cryptic, that's for sure.
How do they transition? Do they just go, all right, it's taken away. Did they just take Barrack and Grok? That's the question.
I don't even know why you...
I don't think they could. And they can't just survive against Kinessa like that. Right?
No, they might pick a Buck. I could see a Buck here. I think that they're not mad at Buck, and I think they're okay. Andro obviously is available, so they could go for that. And they may just rely on the Bomb King. What Team Cryptic did, which is so interesting, Nick, that you mentioned, is that they have a very interesting map strategy for this against the Kinessa.
They do. Triple tank, they do transition into it. Drogo's left open and taken by Swarm. They're very happy to do that. And that is a great character that can punish this triple stack tanking. We'll have to see, though. I mean, Maldamba, I thought if they were going to take a triple tank like this, they would have taken a Grok or a Pip.
It's so interesting, too, because that is what they're known for, as we see the saw blade on Timbermill. And, you know, that's...
What is that?
A saw.
That's a sawed?
It's a sawed. doesupz here for Team Cryptic on half shell. Elaborating on what you were mentioning to me, Kusqt says we don't need to fight against the Kinessa. Just fight in the cubbies, win the fight.
Vandy's back.
And then Kinessa is irrelevant. Vandyy is back. Accelerator Bomb King for Evulli here. He's going to be doing a lot of work. Aerial Assault, Ruckus for iDropBodies, Ripen Gourd for Kusqt's Maldamba, and WarDoom on Architectonic's Barrack.
Mortal Reach for MrHazee is Saris, Eledrax with Mother's Grace, and Vandyy with Suppression Kinessa.
No way!
Reprieve Eevee. I hope
Let's talk about suppression here.
He basically just allows the beams to all stack on the tanks, and it looks like he sticks with it.
So, and it allows multiple.
Yeah.
Many more mines to be able to control space. It turns Kinessa into more of a space controller and impacts the fight a lot longer. And you see 2 beams already. Look at those beams just slowing down iDropBodies. It's very difficult to fight into that, but again, they're just choosing to stay in these cubbies.
Very interesting choices here and wise positioning decisions from Team Cryptic. A lot of slow coming out, a lot of damage pouring through from this Kinessa in the back line. Inspire, who cracks open first blood.
Now Random Noob is in there with his Drogos, and Kusqt and the boys of Team Cryptic are falling back. But Swarm have definitely got the lead here. A couple of shots from Fire really sealing the deal and getting some clutch kills.
Getting the big dismounts as well on Timbermine. That is so vital. There's almost no way these tanks are going to be able to make it back to the point in time because of the zoning potential. One man on his horse and all the slow beams. from Knessa.
And
who would have thunk?
She's
Vandyy makes his return with oppression Knessa.
And you made it appropriate comment there. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but instead of Timber Mill, Timber Mine. It does seem to be that way today. Knessa with a suppressor. The first time we have seen this legendary in competitive play. Fire absolutely playing like fire on this Eevee. Gonna look to finish off WarDoom, and he does.
Already on a rampage, a 5 streak. For Fire. Random Noob on a 7 streak. He got his Drogos, I think, way later into the draft than he anticipated. Salvo primed. Takes about half of Body's HP. Potentially could get knocked off if this Fire Spit comes through on the left side of the tree, but it won't.
Apparently, Evulli still forcing him away, and randomnoobtv content for that. Seeing the mines, big headshot by Vandyy, gonna shut down the Bomb King. Dragon Puncher as well, Random Noob gets his tail of the action. And man, that shield just falls, and that is WarDoom dying yet again.
We're gonna take him down and be hooked in, but not a whole lot for doesupz to do here, in my opinion. There's actually a lot of damage to be done with this Carbine while the target is slowed. They take additional damage from that Carbine, so it hits very, very hard. You can see there, 195, and that's without the bonus damage.
Well, Evulli shutting down Vandyy finally. MrHazee has himself a convergence if they're going to use it. He throws it down now. The shield is there, but it goes down as a result of all of Random Noob's damage from his big old rocket launcher, and he is going to make sure Bodies feels the heat. MrHazee keeping everybody alive, and Kusqt just struggling here.
A minute remains to get this one fight won. 42% on the Dragon Punch, and potential for conversion here if they can find the slightest of windows, and it looks like they just might. And Nara's wall is another key component to this fight that could give them the window they need. Oh,
he shut it down. It's so good. The half shell and the barrack shield just definitely throwing a wrench in Random Noob's plans. Vandyy gets Evulli. Kusqt takes down Random Noob, but switching up to the upper ledge is Vandyy, getting a great vantage spot. Kusqt hiding behind the saw blade, just trying to keep his team alive.
This is dangerous now. A lot of potential damage for Vandyy to be done, and no flank pressure on Vandyy. It has to be Evulli on this Bomb King, and he's going to be able to pull it off.
And he decides to try and get maybe one last shot, gets not enough clarity in his own decision-making, and just doesn't even shoot at all. Evulli takes him down so quickly. And with the Chronos 1, looking to maybe get a couple more credits, a couple more kills here before the end of the round, and get that Chronos 2 online if possible.
Nice bomb. Hits Fire as well as Random Noob. Poppy bombs to safety. Nobody here.
Perfect play.
From Swarm is going to be able to put this into overtime. So tied up 1-1, but still not where Cryptic would like to be. I think this tank comp obviously going to fall off harder as Kusqt's healing can't make their staying power what it used to be, as the shields fall quicker and quicker as Vandyy and Random Noob get these Record 2s online. It's looking good for Swarm.
And the fact that they're running this suppressor Knessa, so interesting to see this take place in the meta. Are they going to be used to this now, Team Cryptic, going into round 2 and not so surprised about the impact that this does have?
It's interesting.
Or is there nothing they can do?
I mean, they can shoot the mines. That's definitely one.
There's too many, man.
It's a step in the right direction. Maybe it's just Kusqt who's on mine duty. Since his DPS is probably going to be the least effective and the hardest to confirm during a fight. He's got to focus on just healing people. He's going to be kind of turned towards them anyway, where the mines are likely to be positioned.
It's going to be hard to hit him specific. I mean, he's got great aim, but not the easiest projectile to make sure you go exactly where you want it. Is Zolong Johnson's spit. And there it is, already Vandyy getting a big-time shot. Kusqt just out of the fight right now. A mine actually might kill him. And Fire actually takes that credit. He gets the kill onto the healer.
And to that note, it's interesting, right? Because the slows are going to make it so much easier for Fire to confirm his massive damage. Eevee still has that combo potential for the 1,100 shots. You can see that.
He wants to kill
in a second. It's going to be a double kill. One onto doesupz, one onto WarDoom. Vandyy finds Evulli, and Kusqt is, for all intents and purposes, zoned out of this fight.
Yeah, Kus, if he would have hit him with a mid-air stun, I would have freaked out right there. But just takes a win by staying alive, as well as it's more than he can say for a lot of his other teammates. Oh, big-time convergence just pulls iDropBodies into a big shot to Random Noob, and that should be the point fight going to Swarm.
Dread Serpent comes out. doesupz tries to get Ancient Rage off, but can't. Dome Shield is here, but WarDoom just gets slaughtered. Everyone is falling left, right, and center for Cryptic here.
The fact that Random Noob is still alive as a result of this, and Fire as well, giving Swarm the much-needed room. Even though Inara falls, they get the win.
Oh, what a support!
And this
giving his life for Bodies, who then goes and dies 10 seconds later anyway.
And Fire, yeah, still on the kill. He's just so vulnerable. He's so good. He's so maneuverable, right? This
awesome.
Eevee, I think, is a great pick, Nick, on this map. in this meta. Definitely going to be different in OB53 without the bonus damage, though.
Yep. Ice block for Evie, taking her on an adventure. WarDoom does actually confirm a double kill in the back line. He's getting involved, getting his hands dirty here. Takes down Vandyy and Fire at the cost of a dome shield.
So as a minute and 50 seconds left here, the team's looking to keep moving forward. A defense coming through for Team Cryptic pretty decently now. We're not really worried about having it get pushed in for a minute here. Looking at Suppressor, they went with the Kinessa, didn't take the Andro when they could. They took the extra tank.
Let's look at
the
Kinessa's loadout, see how much she's committed to these mines.
Yeah, and it feels like they went, this was a perfect counter to what they did because
almost all in.
The lack of mobility on their team right now, I mean, if it was Andro, he'd be less affected, I think, by these mines than the Barrack, who really is just stuck where he is.
So she's got 120% beam range, which is huge. Like these beams are basically, if you're in line of sight, you're getting slowed, as well as Octopressor. So each mine can slow 2 instead of 1, and they can stack, obviously. So 2 mines can slow a potential of 4 people.
Look at that.
Beam are plenty going to be able to come out. Increases maximum deployment out. So, I mean, it takes a lot of setup time, but once it gets going, it can be very frustrating to deal with all these slows. I hate when our devs run this in the playtest. I don't think anything tilts me as hard as
it is an extremely annoying build, and a lot of people don't see the immediate value of it. But from a tactical perspective, when a team doesn't have a lot of movement as well to combat against you on a map that requires movement to be successful, this legendary actually plays into your cards quite well.
28 seconds. They got a long way to push, and Swarm are struggling with these payload pushes, but Cryptic are struggling with the point fight, which is really what matters at the end of the day. Dragon Punch is going to come through. It's going to try to find somebody. Random Noob will take down WarDoom. Pays the blood price for it, however.
Evulli trying not to peek here, and they're playing so well. iDropBodies and him just finding the perfect corners to stay alive and out of sight for Kinessa. Throwing a spray down as well, feeling confident that despite the fact Swarm have won both point fights and are in the middle of pushing, contesting overtime, they can still win this game.
Eledrax goes down. Grumpy Bomb on the payload. It's going to make it hard to contest this. Saris is going to be able to get 5 seconds with her shadow travel, but she has to just walk away as Random Noob falls, Fire falls, Vandyy falls, and Cryptic hold the defense, tie things up 2-2.
Definitely the big link for me is Kusqt in this fight. If they can get him out early, like Fire did last, it's going to be a much easier time for Swarm.
What is the adjustment, though, from Team Cryptic? They have to do something different. They're getting dominated in these point fights every time. Maybe it's just a hard dive. There's no master ridings coming out. In fact,
that's the problem. They invested into so much Chronos. They don't have the opportunity to.
So Evulli is really the only one with the mobility. Maybe iDropBodies as well can get in Vandy's face, but Swarm are doing a decent job, almost as the Gangstars did yesterday, babysitting this Kinessa and then transitioning around the fight appropriately as Vandyy, secures his safety.
I mean, Random Noob feels pretty safe right now. Like, I'm not going to lie. You've got iDropBodies and you've got Evulli. But Evulli, they've got to focus on the Kinessa. I mean, Random Noob he doesn't have a natural predator here. And I think that even if he did in the Bomb King, he's so busy trying to figure out how to deal with the Kinessa. Now, this is interesting, though, shaping up iDropBodies on the flank on the right-hand side. He's going up, trying to finish off the Kinessa, but here's a big kill for Random Noob already. Convergence helping us put doesupz on a plate.
Ops's Ancient Rage will confirm the kill onto Eledrax, but no further answers. Headhunter is popped in the back line. Bodies goes down. Evulli is able to confirm the kill, but a stylistic kill nonetheless.
Fire trying to finish off Evulli. He will not finish it. Evulli with the reprieve, not going to win that one. What a play by doesupz right when he needs them. And they have come through. Big-time teamwork by Team Cryptic, showing their excellence and perfect execution here in this fight.
There's the difference. They just take a little bit more time to position accordingly and just to pressure Vandyy. He was in a bad spot, had to pop his Headhunter as he dropped off the high ground, and it wasn't able to be enough. Evulli goes down. Random Noob, again, pays the blood price for it, however.
And he killed Bodies, which is important. He did win the duel, but it was just Evulli able to collapse. And then Evulli about to lose Duel of Fire, but then doesupz collapsed. They just put it into a snowball motion for this team. And Team Cryptic finally looked to be ahead here. Swarm could be in trouble having to defend this, otherwise lose the game.
87% climbing, 93, 96. Who's going to get in here? Is it Evie? Nobody. Fire's forced to ice block to stay alive, and Saris couldn't get there in time in her shadow travel. So Cryptic steal away a payload.
And now this is where the oppressor mines become absolutely irrelevant. If Kinessa keeps dying, those mines go away when she dies, Nick. So they're essentially serving no purpose. She needs that time to get set up.
Now, under some more pressure. Does confirm the kill onto doesupz. Eledrax falling lower and lower. Kusqt on his tail.
Oh my God.
Evulli is going to take it down. Bush mechanics. Pro Paladins, 42 health. Going to get able to get out of combat. Stay safe.
Hashtag Pro Paladins right there. Evulli just flirting with death as much as he can.
Bush whoopie, boys.
Yeah, standing in the bush as well. Fire going to get just a little bit of help on the right-hand side. Big time shot by Vandyy. Not enough. Oh, he's going in. He wants to find Evulli. He throws the oppressor mine in there as well. He's going to go the carbine. Evulli. What a weird dual engagement. I've never seen a Kinessa go hunting like this, and now he may not win it.
The trap has been sprung. Fire goes down. One more shot from
Throw the
either
mine.
player. Aggressive transporter in. Evulli, though, gets the 2v1. Clutching up. 115 HP.
Why didn't he throw the mine there? I don't understand. He could throw the mine, slowed him again. He killed the first one. I think that might have helped him a little bit. But this is all Team Cryptic now. They have kind of seen through this ploy, this fun plan. Oh, aerial assault ruckus almost makes randomnoobtv miss, but WarDoom will follow up on that. Evulli falls now. Seismic Crash trying to stave off this offense.
WarDoom doesn't get slow, goes up and gets aggressive onto MrHazee right now. He gets off into the shadow travel. WarDoom has to be careful here. He's going to escape with his life for the time being. Vandyy again cleans up doesupz on his way out. Kusqt doesn't have the mobility to leave, so he just does as much damage as he possibly can before he goes down.
He's so smart because he's trying to just, he knows he's going to die. He needs ultimate charge. He's looking to basically put himself in a position where he can get more credits for doing more damage. I mean, this is the guy, he's min-max, he's thinking about these types of things. Kusqt is super veteran player and obviously showing it there, making the most out of every moment.
Slippery WarDoom escapes again with less than 200 HP to his name. Fire forced out early into the ice block, trying to box out, win this 1v1 with iDropBodies on the Ruckus, but that's a tall task for an Eevee with only 1800 HP.
That's absolutely true. Ruckus usually will win that battle unless you get some big blink shots to start things off, catch him off guard. randomnoobtv will fall though. Here's a King Bomb. Could it change things? Oh, doesn't get to the ledge, but it might just be perfect for him because he ends up going right towards the team of Swarm and getting two for the trouble there. Evulli and doesupz clean up Fire and Eledrax.
A little bit of a lazy all nonetheless, though. Clean team fight gets taken through for Cryptic. Dome shield comes down just to secure things as this payload closes the last couple of inches it needs for the Cryptic victory.
Now that is a funky game.
Yeah.
If I could say so myself, but it was exciting to see how Team Cryptic dealt with it, and they did deal with it well.
Yeah, and that's a mid-round adjustment a veteran team can make, and just took that one. It kind of feels bad if you're Swarm, right? Because we got two payloads, they got one, but they ended up winning the game just because that's the nature of Timber Mill, right? You get a little bit of momentum, it becomes very hard to take back all that high ground once Cryptic have seized control. And
the important thing, too, is Swarm never were able to push. They got very close, but they just weren't able to keep up the momentum. As much as the Kinessa helps for the point fight and helps for the snowball, it's very hit or miss. And if you lose the Kinessa early on in a push, it's so hard for her to get back to where she needs to be and get set up, especially relying on the suppressor legendary build that they were going for. Really cool to see that in action, though, I will say.
Very interesting choice. I think just brave.
Yeah.
Not only we're going to Timber Mill, bringing out suppression Kinessa. Or oppressor Kinessa.
I'd love to see more of that. There's a couple other ones. Accelerant Bomb King's good, but like we saw the chain reaction the other day for like the right scenario. That's what's so exciting about legendaries. I'd love to see the one with I forget what it's called, but that destroys all shields.
Demolition.
Demolition Grumpy Bomb. I could have some interesting interactions against these heavy tank compositions.
I think if it not only destroyed the shields but just stunned as well. Like, basically, you know, kind of like King Bomb, right?
Yeah.
Just a very telegraphed, slow King Bomb that couldn't move. I think that's probably what it would need to come into viability.
Or maybe also destroy, like, bulldozer aspect things, like deployables. That would be a very...
the Annihilator.
The Annihilator, essentially. Yeah, change it from demolition to just annihilation.
The tactical
deletion.
Nuke.
Yeah. Duke Nukem. We'll call him that. That's the legendary right there. Flash from the past. So the next map will be Frozen Guard. This is a map that obviously takes us to the Paladins winter theme of things. A little bit long range, so we could totally see a Kinessa here. It wouldn't be like ridiculous to see a
I think
sniper.
that's what they'll go to because they don't have Dryce today, and he's the one who typically plays Shaolin, which is the other long range viability character here. Random Noob plays Kinessa, Vandyy plays Kinessa, as well as Androxus, so they have enough to go for, and nobody else has shown Shaolin, so I think that's what they're going to be kind of drafting around, and maybe we'll see a presser again.
Well, when we get into the champion draft, it's encouraging to see how well that Swarm is keeping up with the top team in North America right now. For new guys to come into the scene and perform, keep it to a 3-3 type game, you know, it was very, very exciting to see. Very comforting, I think, if you're moving forward.
Snag up the Drogoz very early on, Cryptic. How will they respond? Ruckus will be one answer. Taking away the Androxus is good against the Drogoz, but getting it out of the hands of Vandyy, I think, is another big boon. But they're going to go ahead and just scoop the Makoa, so Swarm now can answer back, take the Andro, and get Vandyy safe.
So Swarm, they take their core. They're not worried about a healer too much right now, although Cryptic seems to prioritize the Damba. They feel like Swarm not going to go for their healer of choice here, and maybe go for more of a flex pick. Remember, they do have first picks, so Team Cryptic will be the ones who can maybe last pick a Kinessa if the lineup so chooses.
Yep, so they're leaving themselves open for Cryptic to scoop Inara here and now.
This is like the Barrack choice you don't understand. Like Barrack right there. You would rather see Inara.
Definitely. Grover, I think they're positioning for it, man. Are they going to do it? Going to pull a Kanga here? Cuss?
Oh, it's the Grover.
I was about to say, no balls, you won't do it.
So we're expecting a deep roots here, most likely. I think this was really going to help to cut away. Just make sure they don't pick up the Kinessa. It's a little bit of a warding tool for Swarm, but they still may do it anyway. They do need that second tank, in my opinion.
And Inara's still on the table. But they go to the Kinessa, and Cryptic now with the chance to steal it away. They have Grover to kind of counter pressure.
I feel like the
long range Shaolin as well as the Kinessa and the Cassie, but they're going to go to the Eevee just to make sure they don't. They won the game, but you know, the draft wasn't as clean as it probably could have been, so they don't look to make that same mistake twice, and they do scoop the last pick Eevee.
Curious if this is a little bit of a hint at to what these pro players are thinking about Grover. He has definitely gotten himself a big buff going into this next patch that we're currently not playing on, and has gotten some increase to his projectile speed, more damage, CC immunity on the ult. Finally, it's looking good for the spring over there, coming through even in summer. Mortal Reach Ceres for MrHazee. Architectonics Barrack for Dethroner, who is over here. Recurve Shaolin for Fire. Fusilon Drogoz for randomnoobtv. And Vandyy on Suppression yet again.
All these roster swaps today. What's going on, man? doesupz will have Reprieve Eevee. What a treat. We get to see the doesupz Eevee. Aerial Assault for Evil Eyes Ruckus. iDropBodies on Exaction Cassie. Kusqt on Rampant Blooming Grover with Chronos. And Half Shell Makoa for WarDoom. Well,
also, you know, we'll probably be able to look at loadouts later on in the game. But I believe with Chronos, and you look at the elimination card, I would be surprised if he wasn't running that. If he gets a kill off here, he's going to be able to snowball this big time. Fire goes into the planet, not able to find anything, but Evil Eye and doesupz started off with 2 quick kills.
And this is the problem with Swarm's draft. With just a solo tank Barrack, how do they break into this point against a Grover Makoa Ruckus? It's going to be so difficult with all their backline being distracted, meanwhile, by Eevee.
You're asking the wrong guy here, because I don't know. I never did.
I don't think anyone knows the answer to
that. I
expected
expected the 2 tanks, of course. I expected the Inara instead of the, you know, the Barrack at this point in time, especially since it's such close corridors that you're fighting here. I feel like this really benefits an Inara playstyle. But Barrack brings a lot to the table. We can't deny that. And if he's a comfort pick, if he makes you play better, maybe it's worthwhile.
Maybe, maybe. Evil Eye gets taken down, wiping the floor right now. His Team Cryptic. I'd like to see that Grover loadout. Yeah, when we get the chance, picks up the Chronos as well as this cooldown of Blossom, cooldown of Crippling Throw, and running that elimination card, if only at level 2.
And that's still gonna help quite a bit, right? 20%. Yeah. That's 2 seconds off of his actual heal, and now he's got Chronos 1. That's 3 seconds off. So it's gone from a 10-second to a 7-second heal for him. That's a lot of value already.
This is kind of the safer way to do it. Going all in with the 40% is it's a little bit more payoff than just the base 2 seconds on both those abilities, because they're not super long, right? You're looking at perennial. 2 seconds is a little under 20% for that ability. However, Crippling Throw is only a 6-second cooldown, so 2 seconds off that is a very good chunk to reduce that. Here comes the Whirlwind. It's going to allow Cryptic to poke out, get aggressive here, and not have to worry about their health pools, if only for a few seconds.
Kusqt here. He's got to heal 9 seconds now, actually. Probably a 12-second heal, now that I think about it, Grover, now because he's got 3 seconds off, so now it's just dropped right down to 9 every time he was using it. So maybe a couple more seconds just investing in it. But of course, if these eliminations come through, it will be big time convergence here, though. And MrHazee got something to say.
Got 2 kills for it, as well as the planet
Nice
comes
shot.
ripping through fire.
Whoa!
And I imagine the majority of that work. Wow, doesupz, though, swings the fight back in Cryptik's favor with a double kill.
Is he about to 2v1 over here? He
3v1?
goes into the Ice Storm, into the reprieve. Will he take down MrHazee? No, not yet. doesupz doing some shenanigans over here, and Random Noob shuts him down.
Jeez.
Fire over ice.
It's a lot of work done, however, for the guys at Cryptic. And that's the cool thing about Evie is even after her team falls, she doesn't need anyone. She's got everything she needs in her own kit to be able to be successful off in the back line where she needs to operate most effectively.
Yeah, she can do her own thing. That's what's so cool about Evie, and she just doesn't rely on anyone, especially put him in the hands of an experienced player. He can make the right decisions, kind of just come out, hey, okay, I got a kill, hey, I got 2 kills. They're under pressure, Sarah's shadow travels down, let's move forward now. We'll see how well the mines are working. So far, not stalling anything that doesupz is trying to do. MrHazee not taking him down, but they see him here. Just going to blink away and
distracting
safety.
The entirety of the back line. In the meantime, that's all of their damage, just staring at an ice block for 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Cryptic are breathing down their neck, trying to break the base. Vandyy gets a kill. Fire gets doesupz. So it's still looking good for this defense.
What a response. I mean, that was so quick that he turned back, withdraw, impale, and then hit the planet. I mean, he was ready, and Fire playing like fire. Taking down WarDoom and Kusqt and giving Swarm the defense. He's
definitely been very good coming to his own when they had to pick him up because Vandyy actually stepped out, but now I don't know what the deal is with this roster. They got a lot of swaps. Vandyy comes back in, Dethroner's coming back in. Eledrax is out now. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to figure it out. Vandyy could have potentially changed his mind about playing competitive. A lot of answers, a lot of questions for Swarm to go to. A couple of ultimates online for them. A Headhunter almost ready to go on the convergence at 87%. Heat Haze is charged, as well as a Dome Shield. Items about equalized. Everything at the level 2 mark, but Cryptic prioritizing these Chronos over their offensive options.
And they like the cooldown. It gives them this mobility, and it also gives them, you know, with these ability-powered champions, just a little bit more flexibility and messing up. We see Eerie Presence sometimes taken from Maldamba because it just gives you kind of that wiggle room. doesupz under the pressure, but he's trying to finish off MrHazee. He will get the kill. doesupz with 2, and WarDoom escapes with his life and takes Dethroners in the process.
doesupz Evie is looking real. I mean, this is not something we typically see him play. And frankly, maybe it comes off the back of just the lackluster Evie performances from iDropBodies. They just moved doesupz over to it instead.
To be honest, I love the way doesupz does it. I like Reprieve much more in this meta than Wormhole. I know sometimes in EU they favor the Wormhole. I think Reprieve is just where Evie needs to be. She's by herself. She needs that extra life health pool. She needs to be able to stall. That helps her to stall, right, and waste time. And I think that's just what is so good about her in the first place is Team Cryptic take the second point pretty easily. It's
damn near get out of jail free card as it gets. You know, obviously there is potential for 1800 burst damage to come through real quick, but it's tough to pull off. It's definitely the safest way to go. There's the convergence pulling through a lot of members, but the whirlwind is going to keep everyone from Cryptic alive. Oh, that's so good by Kusqt. Perfect timing there, and this just makes MrHazee's amazing ultimate, which pulled in 3 and almost secured all those 3 kills, absolutely irrelevant. 19% already back, and doesupz is going to work in the back line. Blinking onto the Saris looking for her. No, she's in shadow travel.
Oh, he found her.
He definitely knows where she wants to go. The soft reveal helping him get a good idea. Blinks up into the air, but she's going to be safe. And
again,
missteps, gets impaled into the wall. Fire with a nice kill.
Fire again with these quick impulse. Oh, hey, look at this. Circus is in town. iDropBodies is the main act, and Team Cryptic happy to capitalize off of his acrobatics there. Where's Pip when you need him? I mean, this is the Cassie show right here.
Ooh, Vandyy shoots the wall there, getting a little bit too excited as Bodies rolls into frame. Hook will connect, but doesn't manage to pull in anything.
Minute and 7 seconds left. They are contesting the payload still, but it looks like Team Cryptic are in the driver's seat again. Fire trying to finish off doesupz. Can't find one shot. In the air, though, takes down Evulli. Will a Hexafire come through? It will. He's going to run away in stealth. It's not going to... Oh, it will save him for now, but he's still got to fight bodies.
Misses the impale, and that could have been his downfall. WarDoom with 2, Random Noob with 2. Fire does clean up 1. doesupz is still here running around, gets impaled. MrHazee cleans it up.
Oh, big time play by WarDoom though. Is he gonna outplay
range?
it? He gets
2
it for WarDoom, gets the ancient range, goes in on MrHazee. He's gotta run away.
He has to swing. He has to swing hard, and now, but there's no cauterize attached to this anchor attack. He's eating a lot of damage. He has to getting out now. 25 seconds remain. He tried to make the hero play, but he can't pull it off.
Well worth the attempt. Great stuff by WarDoom. Everyone on Team Cryptic is back right now. Dragon Punch charged up in base for the immunity. Goes for the EV. Finally, will take down Evulli, but here comes the Whirlwind, and Grover keeps them all alive.
Doesn't pay the price for it, and unfortunately for Swarm, they lose all of their defenders contesting the payload. And they give up conversion. Disaster for Swarm after what was a valiant attempt at holding that defense, and a potentially highlight play from WarDoom.
That was awesome stuff to see. And Vandyy, we talked so much about him in the earlier rounds, but just has not had any impact here in this game. I mean,
hasn't been on Andra though. That's where
no, I know.
Or Cassie. Those are his two that for me were like, wow, this guy is something else on these two characters.
I think it's more, my comments more around the Kinessa, not really playing the way that they probably wanted her in this game. Just getting countered so well by doesupz.
Yeah, and that's a good thing for Cryptic, is being able to have dousupz on that EV. Just have somebody that can play it. I know Kusqt way back in the day played EV, but I think it's been a while, and you know, we've seen how important it is for him to be on support, just for the raw communication that Cryptic relies so heavily on, especially with 2 rookies.
This is where Swarm might have a chance, because the cauterize starting to maybe tick through. Grover a little bit more countered by that. His healing is just all in one place. He's a big target. Easy to finish that off. The half shell will kind of ward away a lot of the consistent cauterizes, but there's the Throner with a nice dome shield on the point.
And he's still alive here. Bodies eats a big shot. Can't afford to take another one, though. Gets aggressive. Knows where fire is. The blast shot's going to land. One shot from either champion's going to do it. Fire in the withdraw. Gets soft revealed. Bodies spots him out. Makes the play.
Good stuff by Bodies there as well. And they're doing really well as a team to finish off the suppression legendary. And all those oppressor mines Kinessa's throwing out.
Yeah.
Again, Vandyy gets taken down by Kusqt. I mean, it's really dousupz from close range, but then he's got to worry about the axes consistently flying at him. That's hard, man.
This mine build is really falling off when it's 5 guys playing at this level, communicating, taking them all down. For me, there's just no uptime here. I'm not really seeing this build have much of an impact at all.
And I think partly too, without going for 2 tanks, they don't have nearly. They lose Barrack, and it's done. It's over. They can't get back on this fight, especially when you have a Shaolin and a Kinessa. That's 3 members of your team that are absolutely irrelevant at that point. So I mean, you're 2 damage. You know, you're 2 damage. Your healer, MrHazee, and I forget who else was lining up with them, but they can't contest the point by themselves.
They can't. And dousupz was distracting so much in the back line, just forcing Kinessa and Shaolin to both kind of be the answer, right? They need both of those characters to burst dousupz down. At the same time, they're losing all of their damage on the front side. So just well drafted, I think, by Cryptic.
And well played by Cryptic as well. I think dousupz just had a lights-out performance, and even WarDoom making some extremely highlight plays, finishing off some clutch kills, and helping that 3-1 to actually go through, get his entire team back right in time as we take a look at the stats. Finishing off the set.
Random Noob slaughtered everyone. 96,000 damage in a 13-minute game, and there's not even big damage numbers on the side of Cryptic. It's just impactful. Like only 39,000 damage for dousupz, but it results in 10 killing blows, whereas you look at that 96,000 damage from Random Noob, that only got him 7 killing blows.
And the part of the reason too, the damage coming through, is because they've got these 3 really big targets with Evulli, they've got WarDoom, and they've got Kusqt, who have a large health pools, and these sniping characters, they're fine to just go ahead and shoot that 1K, that 1.5K, but it just isn't doing the effective burst that a guy like dousupz has with 39,000 damage coming through and 2-shotting people. I mean, that's the real impact here.
Doesn't do a lot of damage, but once he gets on you, that damage is going to kill you.
Exactly, and that's the most important.
Ain't no poke about it.
Ain't no poke about it. And you see
Kusqt beats, oh man, he almost beat everybody on his team with Grover in damage. Evulli only at 23,000 and just didn't have anyone to fight. I think that's why we see a lot of damage, right? Because it's 2 tanks on either team, so Ruckus just always has somebody to shoot, but that just wasn't the case. This Barrack was relatively ineffective in this game.
It's not. It's not just the barrack. It's the composition that didn't work for me from Swarm. But hey, overall, great set by these guys. And coming through, facing off against Cryptic, you know, taking him to a real close game on Timber Mill, Frozen Guard.
That was fun to watch.
Some new maps that we're not seeing a lot of lately. I think it's good for Cryptic to get some practice on those. It's good for Swarm to say, hey, yeah, we didn't pick the best lineup. We didn't have it. We're mixing guys here and there, like we're juggling, you know, balls in the air, right? But at the end of the day, we could go.
That's what you want to do when they have no chance to make it to DreamHack at this point.
Yep.
You know, get what you can out of these games.
Absolutely. More experience, get some guys some more limelight, see how they perform. Great stuff by Swarm. And congratulations again, Team Cryptic, finishing off the Summer Premier Qualifiers 6-0.
Perfect.
Only one other team has been able to do that, so congrats to you guys here representing the North American region. Of course, we got one more game. And that's going to be, I believe, Swarm and Dare Rising battling it out for kind of the 2 bottom seeds. This will be an interesting and very tight, close game as well, I expect to see. Dare Rising can finally get their first win.
Trying to get themselves on the board. That's the big thing here.
All right, well, we'll see you guys in just a second. Go on a quick break, and we'll be right back with the final set of today after this.